Welcome back to Sip the Scoop. This one starts wild. Jaguar just put Diddy on blast again, dropping documents tied to a lawsuit he's been trying hard to hide. She's saying he's legally responsible for everything he did.
Like, that's the thing, this trial, the sentencing, the verdict, all the hyperbole, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the this, all of that, it means nothing. It means nothing. This was all done for the public's entertainment. This was all done to get people like me to be quiet. This was all done to give weirdos like Vladimir Lyuski and Torre the ability to constantly challenge and try to check my veracity, my actuality, my truth, and to get the public to not believe whistleblowers like me. That's why this was done. This ain't even about Diddy. It's about the rest of them. Do you know they're still having white parties?
Jaguar is calling out the fact that Diddy got 4 years, even though the accusations against him stretch back decades. She says Cassie didn't get real justice, and she's speaking up loud about it. For over 20 years, people said Diddy kept crossing lines, and somehow he ended up in a low-security spot like it was nothing. How does that even add up?
Does Diddy getting sentenced to 4 years? Does Cassie get justice in all this? Does that look like...
Still not enough. Still not enough. And it's wild because she's getting such a better deal than dear Lee Cordell Smith is.
$30 million and your perpetrator gets 50 months? I mean...
Still not enough.
Jeez.
Her life is never gonna be the same. And people are gonna find ways to make her life complicated, to force her to have to spend that $30 million every way they possibly can. You know, there is no up. There is no win. Have I been saying that?
Jaguar also claims the whole trial felt messy from day one. She says there was plenty of evidence floating around, but barely anything was shown in court, and even Diddy didn't seem worried. Right before sentencing, his team still had him booked for a speaking gig in Miami. Wild, right? Now Jaguar says something even more shocking, that Diddy was also lined up to speak at a school event for young students. A legally restricted adult being placed in that position raises serious questions, and Jaguar is pointing straight at it with no hesitation.
Please.
There's a woman, what is it called? Sprout to Success or something like that. Some kind of charter school, private, independent private school in Miami Gardens, which is right there in the area of South Florida where he's been warden for Satan. Because he ain't nothing but a shepherd for the devil. But she was going to invite him to come to the school to speak to her students there, K through 12. Yeah. You want to know what I find really interesting? All of these people that wanted to bring him to schools and bring him this and bring him that. How the hell are they going to do that when he's on the SEX offenders registry list? He's not allowed to be around kids.
That does make moving a little hard.
He's not allowed to be around school. He's on the registry. Didn't I already do a tutorial about the registry? Like, I know. He is a registered SEX offender, and people want to bring him to school.
She says it's unbelievable that someone with legal restrictions on contact with minors would even be scheduled for something like that, and people online couldn't believe it either. Jaguar claims Diddy is out of time now. More than 100 civil cases are stacked up, and she believes the behavior described in those filings could finally bring real consequences.
Not gonna be in long. They say with points and time served and any type of... he might be out by Christmas next year.
People say a lot of things. You know what else they said? They said he was going to get bail. How did that work? You know what else they said at the end of that trial? Even after he was found guilty of the Mann Act, they was putting together a 4th of July party. How did that work? People say a lot of things, don't they? I guess they don't hear God say no. I don't know what's gonna happen to him. I'm not even trying to guess. What I am praying for, though, is that real victims and real survivors actually get the attention that they deserve, that they get the justice that they deserve.
She says karma is circling back, and once these civil hearings kick off, Diddy might not be walking away from this one. Diddy's money can only hold the line for so long. Jaguar keeps saying there's real evidence connecting him to everything he's being accused of, and the details coming out in the civil cases are strong enough that they could trigger criminal action just like Cassie's situation did. That's why Diddy rushed to settle her case literally a day after it hit the courts.
I'm hoping that the other 100 civil cases will not just be left at civil cases and will actually be turned to criminal cases, because they should be, because I got a big issue with everyone thinking that money is the end all be all into stopping a predator from operating. It is not.
Amen.
It is not. Why do so many of these cases stay civil? Why aren't they turned criminal when there's criminal acts all through the pages?
Can you file a charge and still get money off of a can you sue later, or is it strictly victims looking for money?
Simpson's family, OJ was acquitted and they was able to take him to civil court and get him for bread. It really doesn't matter which way you do it.
That is true.
It can go either way. A civil proceeding and a criminal proceeding is just two different proceedings. But if you have criminal acts in a civil proceeding, just because someone gets paid or it gets settled and people get paid out, it doesn't mean that those acts shouldn't be tried criminally.
Even with all his wealth, there's no way he can push away every single lawsuit forever. 100 cases? No billionaire wants to fight that many people at once. The wildest part is how the feds are moving like they're not even pressed about any of it. Jaguar says they pulled everything from computers to personal items to illegal substances and even weapons from his place during the raid.
Runs up onto multiple properties. And they collected all kinds of things that never made it to that courtroom, did it? Not one mention of a firearm, not one mention, even though some of the testimony said that he carried fire. But the way Kid Cudi's car, the way that whole situation happened, I mean, it was on court document. People were sitting there talking about it, and they still trying to act like that never happened. Capricorn clock. Is everybody forgetting her testimony? I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, it was all Cassie. Cassie was the mastermind, but she was doing it all with his corporate credit card. That means it's his money. But she the mastermind? Come on. And now, because all of that stuff was redacted, and because all of that stuff was kept off the record, and for whatever reason, the feds didn't present a lot of stuff that would have made sure that he was gone forever, rather than just being gone to November. And it's not going to be November. See, that sentencing is coming.
Yet somehow none of that made it into the courtroom. How does evidence just disappear from a trial like that? And then every major charge against him got dropped, and he walked away with one of the lightest outcomes possible. Guidelines were calling for around 9 years, and he ended up with just 4. This is the same judge who denied him bail multiple times, and now suddenly he's talking about giving Diddy a chance to change. Jaguar says this whole trial felt like a performance piece, not justice.
Saying that it might go until Monday, I was actually kind of surprised that it did, considering the show that they put on for the public. They put on such a lovely show.
That was a show.
Wouldn't you say?
That was a show.
There was a video montage.
Oh my God.
You would have thought It was like a retirement ceremony. Or, someone winning an award for, lifetime achievement or something. The way they sat there and the way they carried on and the way, especially when it gets to the point where lawyers are forcing themselves to tears or almost to tears, talking about how inspiring that deviant is. Kind of interesting.
Jaguar also keeps reminding people that Diddy has worked with federal agencies before, but even that isn't enough to save him now. When you've already told them everything you know, you don't have anything left to bargain with when the heat comes back. Jaguar somehow got hold of the court documents from Derek Lee Cardello Smith's case, and this is shaking things up.
He's gonna get out?
I'm saying if he starts snitching.
I don't think... he would have to turn over, at this point in time, he would have to turn over a whole lot. And he's going to do some time because unlike the public, the judge knows exactly what he did. The judge has seen all of the evidence of everything that was kept out, of everything that was redacted, of everything that wasn't presented.
Right.
Like that's the reason why he's still in there. If it was such a clean sweep and if it was such a neat sweep, he would have been got bombed.
Right. That makes sense.
It's not that, but see, that's the danger of the media. That's the danger of the media. How many bot farms have been put to task to work the algorithm and to work the thumbnails and the storylines of what's really going on?
This man took Diddy to court for $100 million and actually won. He's one of the only people who ever walked away victorious against Diddy, and now he's teaming up with Jaguar to push things even further. Derek's got paperwork, proof, and serious receipts, and he's done letting anybody shut him down. This time he's talking loud and clear.
It just disappeared. Do you know what I thought when I heard it myself? I said, oh, it must have not been real. Because there's no way in the world this isn't gonna make it to that trial. You wanna know what's even funnier? Diddy went to that jail to visit Derek his damn self in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Guess what name he was using to go to that jail to visit Derek so nobody would know it was him?
John Smith?
Brother Love.
Oh, shit. Damn.
What is clergy?
Damn. This is very wild. What made you?
Guess where he went? Just a couple of days before HSI raided all of his properties. Fuck you mean? What do I think about the powers that be? What you want me to think?
Oh, wait. What made you find this rabbit hole to...
Jaguar claims it wasn't just Diddy's legal team trying to silence Derek. She says Diddy even pulled up to the jail where Derek was being held and supposedly talked to him about the case. If that really happened, it shows Diddy knows Derek has something heavy enough to worry him.
Agnaphila. You wanna know what's funny? While Mark Agnaphila was sitting there making fun of baby oil and doing all of the stuff that he was doing in court and creating all of that nice guy hoopla, trying to get everyone to believe that Diddy is not such a terrible person and that he's a wonderful man and he deserves to go back to Madison Square Garden and he's gonna be right there to cheer him on. Do you wanna know where else he was? In Wayne County, negotiating with Derek Lee Cardello Smith.
Wow.
His victim.
Wow.
Why would he be in negotiations with him if he actually believed that everything that he said in that courtroom was true.
Sounds like a fixer.
Sounds like a fixer. A fucking liar.
Boy.
You think I give a shit about that sentencing? Let me regale you. Hold on. Wait a minute.
And as you're pulling it up,
Is it your testimony that you had your team of technicians at the crime lab who can and have manipulated evidence to place grapes not only on Derek Lee Cordello Smith, but other men as well, with the end result being they will plead because they have no choice. And they know you will get convictions because the SA victims in those cases are actually victims of Sean Combs and of the actual slavery ring in Michigan. And guess what the witness's response was? So what? Yeah.
this is America.
Jaguar also believes there's a deeper reason Diddy pushed to be moved to Fort Dix. It's not just a program that could reduce his time. Fort Dix is a low-security facility with way less restrictions than the MDC he came from. She says if Diddy wanted to disappear, that's the type of place someone could try it. Jaguar calls it his backup escape plan in case all these civil cases start closing in on him. Diddy's barely been inside for 2 weeks, and already the reports coming out are wild.
On the status
What's
level,
affected his pockets? It's just left him. He's still got enough to play with.
a lot to play with. I mean,
Yeah, for now. For now. They want him to go to New Jersey. They want him to go to Fort Dix, one of the weakest guarded federal penitentiaries in the United States. I would know. I know Fort Dix. It's a real nice place to take somebody. So when they finally get to go outside out in the yard, they can just get somebody to come and extract them right up out of there. You can leave and you don't have to worry about ever being held accountable. See, I'm not dumb. I ain't nobody's fool. People like being fooled these days. People like being lied to. They want to believe in the land of make-believe. Diddy said sorry, and now we can all go home and have ice cream. Fuck you mean?
According to TMZ, prison officials said he got caught drinking homemade prison alcohol, the kind inmates brew themselves. This is a big problem because Diddy stood in front of the judge claiming he was sober, focused, and trying to turn his life around. Now, with this incident hitting the news, it could add more time to his sentence and destroy whatever image he tried to build in court. Diddy's legal team is already pushing back hard on all of this. His lawyers say none of these reports are true, and his management even jumped on his X account with a now-deleted statement denying everything. The Post said, the rumors claiming Mr. Combs was caught with alcohol are completely false. His only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family. They wanted that message out fast. A spokesperson also spoke to People magazine, making it clear they think the story is totally wrong. They said there have been false and reckless reports flying around about Diddy and insisted he hasn't broken any prison rules at all. They claimed his focus is on staying disciplined and maintaining his sobriety and that he's taking everything seriously behind bars. Diddy, who's serving a 4-year federal sentence, was recently moved to a low-security facility in New Jersey after spending more than a year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Once he arrived at the new prison, rumors started spreading online that he created a homemade drink using Fanta, sugar, and apples, something that inmates sometimes let ferment. But his team says this story is totally made up. Diddy hasn't even finished his first full week at FCI Fort Dix, and his team is already begging people to calm down. They put out a statement saying rumors are going to pop up no matter what, and they're asking the public to give him space, let him focus on personal growth, and allow him to move forward in peace. They're clearly trying to control the narrative fast. Meanwhile, criminal lawyers are weighing in on what comes next for him, and they say things are about to get way harder for Diddy once he gets out. They point out that he'll have to follow strict legal requirements because of his convictions, and that alone will limit his freedom in a major way. They say every move he makes from now on will be watched closely, and if he slips even a little, federal authorities could bring him right back in. According to Jaguar and others speaking on this, Diddy's career and lifestyle are already collapsing, but he hasn't fully accepted it yet. They say the version of freedom he used to enjoy is gone for good, and there's more heat on him inside the facility too.
He's now tagged with 2 felonies. He's not free to go about and do what he wants to do. For the next, 89 months or thereabouts, he's going to be under the control of the federal government. And that's no little thing for a guy like this. So here's what supervised release is going to be like for him. It'll be intense at first. They'll drug test him. They'll put monitoring software on his devices. They will, they'll have constant meetings and check-ins and that kind of thing once he gets out of prison. And as time goes on and he demonstrates compliance, the supervision will get less and less intense. Probably to the point where he just has to call in once in a while. But if you get too complacent and all of a sudden, you don't register, or all of a sudden, porn's an addiction, right? And, if you're looking at porn all the time, guess what? It's tough to stop that. It just is. And I've known clients that have, violated their conditions over and over again, and they wind up going back to prison. Now, Diddy seems to me like he's got some discipline. He doesn't follow the rules. And, the first violation could be like 18 months. The second violation could be this, Or he could be demonstrating such good compliance that he gets off early, which happens quite often. Okay, well, now that but he still has to register as a sex offender. He still has to do all these different things. Even after he's off of supervised release, he'll still have to register. And if he goes to Miami, because his home's in New York, he's got to check in with the local sheriff and say, hey, sex offender in town. That's what he got to do. This is not an easy thing for him to have to deal with down the road. But is it life in prison? No, it's not. Is it 20 years in prison? No, it's not. Is it even 10 years? No, it's not. But it's still going to be something he has to deal with. So it's no little thing that he is part of this community of people that have to be supervised, and he gave the government a big foray into controlling his life. And that's what happens when you decide to break the law.
People close to the
As if
situation
his life
say
wasn't
Diddy's
already
status
hell,
and the nature
Diddy's
of his
life
charges
is also
have
in
made
danger.
things tense around
Diddy
him.
might be
Inmates
rich,
don't
but the
always
fact that
respect
he
someone
assaulted a
with
woman
accusations
doesn't sit
tied
right
to
with
harming
inmates.
women, and that
Criminals
puts a
that
real
abuse
target
women
on his
don't
back
survive
inside
long in
any
prison, and
environment.
Diddy knows
In the
this.
middle of all this chaos,
Just a few weeks
Jaguar
ago,
Wright
Diddy
is
was
still
almost
locked in
shanked.
and refusing
Allegedly,
to let Diddy
he woke
slide
up to
for
a knife
anything.
on his throat
She and
and
Derek
had to
are
be
lining up
saved
to
by a
become his
CO.
biggest problem yet.
Diddy, obviously just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago. And I think suffice to say, it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve, although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately probably was going to serve about 2.5 years or so, but it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve. And he has already, at least if you listen to people close to Diddy, been the victim of violence behind bars. So there was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up and this guy basically had him, and he had the knife, and Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy. It probably didn't help ultimately because he does get the 4+ year sentence. But again, this just is something that is the reality of life for Diddy right now. It's a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars who is now living in a prison cell and will be at least, again, for the next 2.5 years or so.
Armed with paperwork, evidence, and lawsuits that keep stacking higher and higher, this time, Diddy's fame and money won't shield him the way they used to. Every move he makes is under a microscope now. Every old secret feels like it's one step away from being dragged into the light, and every attempt to dodge responsibility could blow up right in his face. Jaguar keeps reminding everyone that even if the feds didn't push hard enough before,
there needs to be someone here who's been here all along. I've been waiting for this moment for 5 years. And here we are. And I'm praying that everyone remembers there are survivors, real life survivors. And I hope that everyone takes into account how necessary a true verdict, a just verdict now. 25 years of pain, 25 years of hurt. And I'm praying that God's just gonna do what he told me he's gonna do. So I hope we're all just staying in vigilant prayer for everyone on all sides of this. These are human issues, and we need to have real human response and emotion.
Do you plan to be here every day? I mean, during the trial, we're expected to hear.
I'm going to be around.
Have you spoken with anyone who might be possibly testifying, or have you spoken with anybody?
That I cannot say. But what I will say is, my prayers for Al B. Shore are being answered day by day. From the moment that we found out he flatlined to the moment we found out he came back. I'm here vigilant for that. Justice for Kim Porter. Support for Cassie.
there are more than 100 civil cases waiting to hit next, and that kind of pressure doesn't disappear. She's not slowing down for anything, and Derek Lee Cardello Smith is fully ready to make sure Diddy faces whatever comes next. If you're rocking with the story so far, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Sip the Scoop. We've got more heat dropping real soon, so stay tapped in. See you on the next one. Peace.